Good afternoon, Internet! Or whenever you may be watching this, don't deny it. We all say we're gonna go to bed, and then we spend the next 3 hours watching YouTube. Or browsing other websites.
Naughty, naughty Internet.
Anyways, guys, welcome back to another RWBY review. We're about halfway through this volume, and boy, it's actually been pretty good. We did have a rough start with the first episode, and the second one was just okay, but the last two were pretty great. And thinking about them, let's give you guys a little recap to remind you why they were so good.
Cause this is the internet and you folks have the attention span of a beautiful Joe. That's the game I was trying to remember.
Last time was the first time in 3 volumes that we got to see why we needed to be afraid of our villains, as in a team v team fight, we saw Emerald and Mercury completely obliterate Koko and Yatsuhashi with savage and slightly gleeful prejudice. We also learned that one of them may be able to cause hallucinations or create illusions, which may speak to how Cinder is so confident that she can control the outcome of these fights. After said fight, we got some great personal time with Winter and Weiss, where we got to see that, in spite of her cold, militaristic exterior, Weiss's older sister did have a warmer part inside her.
Oh yeah!
She truly does love her sister, as they both have suffered at the hands of their father, and Winter clearly doesn't want to see Weiss have to go back to him. This is why, as we witnessed, Winter pushed Weiss to try the next stage of her semblance, from summoning simple effects and attacks to the true skill of the Schnee family semblance of summoning their fallen foes as allies. However, Weiss still lacks the conviction and confidence to pull this off. But despite how hard she may push the young Ice Queen, Winter shows that she believes that her little sister has the strength to not only overcome this, but to also live her life without their father's money, and thus, influence. This wasn't the only family scene that we got, as we got to see just how much of a role model Crow is to his nieces. But he can't always be the kind-hearted, quirky uncle, as he explains that while they did manage to deal with most things that young huntresses wouldn't normally have to bear, the fight is far from over. There is a lot more to being a huntsman that they don't know, and life isn't going to get easier. But he believes that they can make it if they remember to keep their minds open and to keep moving forward.
You really had to do that, didn't you?
Yes, but words are meaningless. It's how you let them inspire and influence you that give them so much weight. Speaking of which, let's get this weight of anticipation off our shoulders and start the review. Lakanon, roll the clip.
Skip-a-roo, no. We return in the middle of an ongoing fight, as we see Penny finish off Russell and Lark from Team Cardinal in their team v team fight. Though, to be honest, I believe Jean alone could have taken on those two. That's how pathetic I think that team is. And considering their appearances in this and the previous volume, I think Rooster Teeth agrees with me. Afterwards, as Penny and Seal are leaving the stadium, Ruby shows up and congratulate her BFF.
Ruby!
And Ruby's dead. Never forget that this is why the Nuts and Bolts ship would never work.
Ruby, this is my teammate.
Ciel Soleil.
Hi, I'm
Ruby Rose, 15, hails from Patch, leader of Team RWBY. Status, questionable.
Alert!
Me, I believe it is best if we move on to our next location.
Could we have just a minute to talk? So is she your friend, or? She's like Blake, but if Blake was ordered to spend time with you. Oh, so Weiss.
Ha! We get it! Weiss is a bitch. Ruby then goes on to ask if Seal is aware of Penny's, anatomy.
Well, I'm aware of it. I find it best to familiarize yourself with your silicon real doll before it arrives.
You didn't use my credit card again, did you?
Yes, and by the way, you're almost at your limit.
Lakanon!
Anyways, Penny says that almost no one knows, as General Ironwood wishes to keep this a secret. So I guess Ruby is going to go missing soon, eh?
Ruby, there's something I've been wanting to talk to you about. I want to stay at Beacon. Penny, they'll never let you do that. I know, but I have a plan.
It's been precisely 1 minute, ma'am.
Bullshit! It's been about like 50 seconds, you stingy bitch!
Anywho, Penny is pulled away as we hear that the next match is underway. We see that the next match is with Yang and Weiss, who will be going up against... whatever the fuck they are.
You Weiss Schnee, right? The heiress.
I am.
I take it you're pretty good with us then.
I do my best.
Yeah, my dad was good too. owned a little dust shop of his own. Till your father's company ran him out of business.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sure you are.
I take it you're not into capitalism. Because that's kind of what happens. Don't look at me like that. I hate Walmart too, but you idiots keep shopping there.
Hey, why don't you? That's what you sound like.
Oh, I immediately know I'm not gonna like this girl.
You should try rollerblading sometime. It's super fun. It'd probably take you a while though, since you're so, top heavy.
Wow. I'm actually impressed, you guys. This is the first time that any one of Team RWBY, which are all girls, have been sexually objectified. This has got to be like some sort of record. Anime can't go 2 minutes without sexually exploiting its females.
Also, I'd just like to say that if you ever insult my waifu again, I swear they will find your body in 15 different pieces and in 17 different states!
Okay, I'm not even sure how that's possible, but damn, dude, chill!
So yeah, the fight begins and immediately Yang gets laid on her ass. She tries to get the hipster, but the monkey is too fast and unpredictable. Neon then lays in a volley of attacks, ending with a little cold burn.
Look, now you're bottom heavy too.
You're pushing your luck, bitch!
You should cool off. Get it? Because you're angry.
Well, that pun was not Yang approved.
Back with Ice Queen and the Blues Bro, Weiss is finding it hard to deal with this ruffian. No, you guys haven't been drugged. Flint Cole's,
By the way, racist name.
semblance is to literally turn himself into a quartet, using the boosting power to blow away Weiss. But before he can land the final strike, Cole becomes distracted by Neon making fun of Yang.
I wasn't trying to say you should go on a diet. I was saying you really need to go on a diet. Get back.
Fucking harlot! I'll show you who's
The
heavy!
gun!
I'm gonna fill your ass with lead!
Well, Flint takes the opportunity to strike at Yang, but Weiss leaps in to save her friend, sacrificing herself in the process. However, the musician survives, and worse, Neon still isn't shutting up. Seriously, woman, I can only take so many holes in my ceiling before the cops come over and arrest my ass.
It looks like Yang's angry, and you wouldn't like her when she's upset.
So yeah, now Yang's pissed as she starts tearing up the stadium. There goes your tax dollars, people. As Neon struggles to stay upright, probably realizing that skates were a dumb idea, Flint is left open and Yang goes in for the kill.
Oh, sour no for Flint!
Never miss a beat. Never miss a beat. Never miss a...
It was at this moment that Neon knew. She fucked up.
Beat?
So Neon takes a tumble, gets launched in the air by a geyser, Yang fires off one final shot, and holy piss, she exploded! There's nothing left! Damn, that's dark!
Serves that bitch right.
So with the fight over, Yang rushes to check on Weiss.
Are you okay? I may not be singing for a while.
Yeah, I think that's the least of your problems, sweetie, because one of your feet's missing!
What?
Just kidding.
We lost? We lost? Team Funky lost? That was amazing! Oh my gosh, you guys were super crazy awesome! We should definitely party together sometime.
Okay, I know we've had our differences, but since you were taught your lesson, I'll let you back on my waifu list.
I tell you not to go to bed with Crazy, but...
Well, that's never stopped me before.
Yeah.
Right, Flint?
That was a gutsy move, Schnee. I dig it.
We then cut to Cinder and the gang as, is that window over there open and closed at the same time?
Another inconsistency!
Yeah, I get it. RWBY was the first of its kind, budget of bologna sandwich, moving on. While browsing some files, Cinder exclaims as she makes the discovery that Penny isn't a real girl, at least not yet, that they will be making a slight alteration to their plan. And following Rooster Teeth Norm, we cut away from the villains prematurely before they can give us any update on the plot, because Ozpin and Crow are going to give us that.
You know, he's making you look like a fool.
His heart is in the right place. He's just misguided.
Sometimes I'm not even sure he has a heart.
Ha! Wizard of Oz reference. Also, how much you want to bet that that's not coffee in there? Ozpin then explains that he believes he's found the right candidate for the next Guardian, which, considering the last one, will likely be an improvement.
Ever since the day I met her, I had a feeling she would be the one. She's strong, intelligent, caring, but most importantly,
she is the true waifu.
And that was episode 5, guys! And again, it was really good! But I told you guys last time that I would try to find something to hate on, and believe it or not, I think I did!
Trust me, we believe you.
I'll get to the fight later on in the video, but first, like I promised, I will touch on one thing that was bad in this episode, which isn't surprising considering the fact that it's been bad throughout the entire series. The plot. Or more like Rooster Teeth's failed attempts at foreboding. It shouldn't shock any of you to learn by now that Rooster Teeth really isn't all that great when it comes to creating an intriguing plot, or when it comes to trying to set things up. Presenting great characters and dropping hints to their past and personalities, yes, they are pros when it comes to that. But as we saw with the end of this episode, Miles and Sonic are still fumbling when it comes to trying to set things up for the future. I have no doubt that they have planned a lot for RWBY, both the character and the show, but they still can't get past the usual, something's coming. Take again the villains, for example. Just what the hell are they planning? How can it be relevant to their plans if they could use the knowledge that Penny's a robot? And what is their plan? What are their goals? Are they even achieving anything? God, I'm starting to sound like my mom when she asked me about my future.
I'll get a real job when I'm ready!
I have a feeling that when we find out, I'm going to have a lot to say on the moment. Like that they could have dropped some hints that, at the time, didn't make any sense. But as everything culminated, it all connected. Again, we need more than just her sitting around going,
maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
Because eventually we just go, okay, yeah, so you've got big plans to rule the world. Now, you do have any plans on where you want to eat tonight?
Probably not, because women could never make up their minds about that.
It seems like we might get something next episode with all of Ozpin's talk about matings. But that just more or less comes out of nowhere. Apart from the previous one, I'm not sure if we got any hint that Ozzy Boy was secretly testing his students, looking for the right one to play the part in his fetishized cosplay. And if there was some small clue before this, then it should be fired and sued because it clearly didn't do its job.
Well, it's that, or you're just stupid. I'll let the viewer decide.
I'll hold my judgment until next week like the Lord Almighty himself! But for now, it doesn't look good for Rooster Teeth's plot.
Now that I'm done whining about how two guys who have never worked on any major scripts before aren't bringing us a great story, let's look at one thing that RWBY has managed to do great on. It's kind of funny how we went from having a few fights per volume to having at least one fight scene per episode so far. It makes sense that they didn't want to do in the beginning as they were more focused on building each of our characters and the relationships they had with each other. But now we're in the 3rd volume and we have the expanded budget, so might as well have them, eh? And unlike the other two, there was no hidden meaning behind this one, nor did it reveal any insight into our characters. It was more or less just done for the fun of it. But, unlike the other two, this one was done well. Yeah, the last ones had jokes in them too, but the jokes here didn't slow the pace of the fight down. In fact, in some cases, it might have sped it up.
I still don't like it how that skank on skates poked fun at my yang.
Me neither, but I don't need you blowing more holes in my TV!
You're the idiot that turned it onto the Social Justice Network.
However, the thing that really boosted this fight into being arguably one of the best of this volume was, apart from the choreography, the music.
And I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking that this may be one of the best fights so far. Yes, I'm a little biased because my yang wiped the floor again with a bunch of fools. But, like I said, this fight had something the others in the volume didn't. A theme. Adding a theme to a fight not only can spice it up, but the entire episode as well. Just look back at the Double Alpha Grim fight in Volume 1 and the Robot and Train fight in Volume 2. They each had their own theme, from 2 Super Grims to fighting a giant Mac to individual duels on a racing train, and now to a fight as Jazz, smooth as a baby's bottom, plays in the background. There was also another thing that we got that enhanced the fight, and it was the re-edition of Weiss's and Yang's trailer themes. I wasn't sure if I could love the I Burn song any more than I already do, but converting it to jazz was just something else.
Plus, there was indeed a character building moment. Not so much in the fight, but before it.
We have already heard that Weiss's father has made some controversial choices in his business, but we get a new side to what his company has done. Putting a family business out of business is pretty low and cruel, but as we've seen, Weiss is not too proud of what her family name has become, and while it does sadden her to hear what has happened to Flint's father, the damage is already done. However, it seems like she may yet be able to create a better future for her company.
And that's all I can really say about this right now. glad that we can end this review on a positive note. Even if the episode couldn't do that.
Jeez, you're like a yo-yo with your opinions on this. Either hold it in your hand or, take the dog for a walk.
I think the correct name is Walk the Dog.
No, I mean literally take the dog for a walk. I think she's about to upchuck.
Lucy, no! Outside! Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully in the next episode we'll build on the speckles of plot that this one pooped out. Till next week, though, you guys take care. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you can, support me on Patreon. I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. With me, no movie's sacred, no video's safe, but all deserve a chance. I'll catch you guys next week. Toodles!
I think we can expect strict, militant fighters with advanced technology and carefully rehearsed strikes.
Now you fucked up! You have fucked up now!
Fatality.